Yo, peace was good. Welcome to another hip hop album review. This is part 92. The album that I will be reviewing today is Big L's Lifestylez Important Dangerous, released in 1995. The song you hear in the background is All Black by Big L off this album right here. It's track 5. Alright? I'll get to that song in a little bit later. Alright, for those who know who Big L is, he's an MC from Harlem, New York, 139 Atlantic Ave in Harlem. He got his start back in the early 90s, particularly in 1991. He got discovered by Lord Finesse. Lord Finesse, I guess at the time, was doing like an autograph signing off his album. I believe it was Return the Funky Man album. And you know, Big L being a big fan of Lord Finesse, he got his autograph and stuff like that. He kicked a freestyle, and Lord Finesse was impressed by him. They exchanged numbers, things like that. And just right off the bat, you know, they started working together. They started doing like demos and songs like that. And some of those demos was actually featured on this album. What songs, I don't really know. I was just go based on the beat is like the production, you know what I mean? But anyways, they started recording tracks and stuff like that. So they started recording the album from like 1991 all the way to like 95 and 94. I'm just going by what this says on Wikipedia, you know what I mean? It sounds kind of accurate. Sometimes Wikipedia is not always the best, you know, the best format, but you know, sometimes they be on point and stuff like that. But anyways, you know, they started recording the album for a couple years, you know, since from 91 to like 94, like, you know, Wikipedia says. And you can kind of tell because some of the beats do sound like from the early 90s. And there was a couple of songs that were left off the album, which I will post down in the description box. And you know, fast forward to 1995, he came out with this album right here. You know what I mean? Alright, this is what the album looks like. You see Big L chilling right here, in the corner right here. Then you see the cover, you see the back, you see right here. See him and his crew. That shit look fucking grimy as fuck, yo. That's just, when I see those type of dudes like at night, man, like, yo, that shit is like, oh shit, yo. Move out of these niggas' ways, man. You know what I mean? That's what the album looks like, what the CD looks like. Open it up. See the corner of 139 and Atlantic Ave. You know what I'm seeing? Same thing like here. Alright. You see Big L making an L. You know what I mean? Open it up. See Big L chilling in the stoop right here. I guess I'm assuming that's where he lives. You know what I mean? Right here. Just open it up. See the pictures right here. Pretty dope. You see Big L and his crew. Fucking sick. I love pictures like that because it really shows that, you know, you really care about your hometown and like you really all about giving back to your friends, you know what I mean? Which he does in this album. You see Big L right here and his crew right here in the corner of 139 and Atlantic Ave. And you see a young Big L and his brother, you know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to both of them, unfortunately. You see Big L making the L's, you know, throw your L's up, you know what I mean? Alright. Singles off this album, there's 3 singles. Singles off this album are Put It On, MVP, and No Ends, No Skins. Those are the singles off the album, alright? Let me see something. Yeah, alright. Producers on the album. Buck Wild is the producer. Buck Wild, he does a couple joints on this joint. Lord Finesse, shout out to my nigga Lord Finesse, love Lord Finesse, Buck Wild too. That whole D.I.T.C crew, oh my god, those are my, man, especially in their prime. Even they're dope now, but the stuff they put out in the 90s, whew. Showbiz, like I mentioned before, Lord Finesse, Buck Wild. And the dude named Craig Boogie. Those are the only producers on the album. So the majority of the beats that are done are by the first 3 producers that I mentioned. Alright? Okay, you know how I get down, break down through some of the tracks and stuff like that. Alright. The first track, Put It On, which was like the first single off the album. There is a video for that. I'll post down in the description box. Stuff like that. It's pretty much like a braggadocio track, like on the Best MC, I'll, rip you to shreds and the mic and stuff like that. That's what I got from the track. It's pretty, and I like the video. You see him, you get up early in the morning, wiping off the crust off his eyes, and just him starting off the day. You know what I mean? Kid Capri, he definitely adds on to the track. He does a chorus on the album, he does a chorus on the song, and it definitely adds on to the track. And shout out to Kid Capri, you know what I mean? That's my dude right there. Track 2, MVP, aka also known as the most valuable poet. That's what it stands for. It's pretty much it's a braggadocio track, but it's also a kind of like a club track, kind of like a track that you play in the clubs. It uses the same sample as what was that shit? Not the one, the One More Chance remix. The remix of One More Chance uses that same sample. Lord Finesse laced them up with that track and stuff like that. Uses the barge sample, I believe is what it's called. They cleared the samples, so it's not like I'm sample censoring, but whatever, who gives a fuck. MVP is pretty much like a braggadocio track, but it's also a track that you can play in the clubs too. Get to the ladies and stuff like that. Kind of a filler track, but not really, because it's a filler track, but it's still rugged. That's what I like about this whole album, and I'll explain that all at the end of the video. Track 3, No Ends, No Skins. I fucking love that track. He's just pretty much exposing all these fucking gold digging bitches out there. You know what I'm saying? All these chicks that that go for niggas with money. So it doesn't matter if you're an ugly dude, but if you got that bread, they're gonna fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna think, oh, I love you. You're so cute. You're so handsome. Blah blah blah. But he's just a nigga with money. So, and you know what I'm saying? It's not like he gives a fuck about you. He probably do, but he just wants your pussy. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's keep it funky. And there's a line where he says like I guess he took the girl to Burger King. He's like, I want a Whopper. I want something like Whopper with cheese. Like, no, bitch, you ain't getting shit. Blah blah blah. You want a Whopper? Put a ring around your eyes. Oh no. There's a line where says, I want a ring. The only ring I'll give you is around your eye. I'm like, damn, son, like it's mad grimy, son, but. Nah, but yeah, fuck them gold digging bitches, man. Go get a fucking job, get an education, stop depending on the man, yo. Just do you know what I'm saying? And then we will like you for you who you are. You don't have to flaunt yourself. You don't have to go chase niggas, without got money. Like, give other people a chance too, you know what I mean? That's what I got from that track. So fuck all you gold digging bitches, straight up. Track 4, It Is Enough, is a posse cut. It features a young Cameron and Herb Mcgruff from Children of the Corn. Also features some of the people from his NFL crew, because he also had a crew called the NFL crew. He shouts them out a lot too. Like, it's just like pretty much just bringing people from his neighborhood, just put them onto the whole track, and then you get like a whole bunch of people from his hood just ripping the track, and they're all good. Oh shit, my bad. And they're all good too, you know what I mean? So it's not like they're whack MCs. Like, if Big L co-sign you, I mean, that's something, because the nigga can spit too. Big L, he's one of the illest lyricists, man. But yeah, It Is Enough. Yeah, like I said, you get a young Cameron, you get a young Herb Mcgruff, or Mcgruff, aka Mcgruff, whatever. Big L, he had a crew called Children of the Corn, which was a hip hop group which consisted of Killer Cam, aka Cameron, Murder Mace, aka Mace. Yes, the same Mace from Bad Boy Records, 24 Hours to Live, Mace, Mcgruff, Bloodshed, rest in peace, Bloodshed, Big L himself. And if you really want to be specific, I would count him in two as a member too. Digger, the producer Digger, not Lord Digger that used to roll with Cameron back in the day. I would consider him a member too, because he was doing all the beats and stuff like that. And it's fucked up because back in '97, Bloodshed died of a car accident, and then that's what they cut off they cut the album short. I mean the group disbanded, so there's no more Children of the Corn. But in 2003, I think Digga himself actually released the album, or what one of the mixtape DJs released, like the songs that they recorded together as a group, and it's like songs that they made back in the 90s and stuff, like obviously because like I said, the group disbanded back in the 90s, back in '97. So it's a mixtape that came out called Children of the Corn Collection, and it was in '03, and it's very hard to come by, but I would like, if Digga's watching this, please re-release that joint, but make it more clean. I guess like a more remastered version or something. I would love to get my hands on that. You know what I mean? Or like for the masses. You know what I mean? I would definitely support that. And I'm not down with. I mean, you could do the digital, but I'm all about the physicals. But that's just me. Enough of the rant. That's all I had to say. Track 5, All Black, was his first song that you heard on the video. It's just pretty much, he portrays himself as a killer, stalker, rapist, just creeping in the nighttime. Like while everybody's sleeping, he's doing his third, you know what I mean? In Harlem, all around Harlem. So that's what I got from that track. It's very, very dope. I love that joint right there. Track 6 is probably one of my favorite songs of the whole album. If not, it is my favorite song of the album. It's the song Danger Zone. Fucking love that beat. Like those drums and the sample, Buck Wild did the beat. It's pretty much saying like how 139 and Lennox is the danger zone. Don't come over there, if you're gonna come over there, you're gonna get dealt with, you know what I'm saying? And niggas gonna get jumpy, you're gonna get smoked, you know what I mean? And that's what he's talking about, you know what I'm saying? Kinda like a hardcore type of track. The beat is dark, it's grimy, I fucking love that. And I'll talk about the production on the album, which I'll get to at the end of the video. Track 7, Street Struck, fucking love that track. Produced by Lord Finesse. That joint right there, he's just pretty much talking about how you got a lot of these cats that's stuck in the streets, that's like, they kind of have like a one-track mind, they just like so, stuck on the block, you know what I mean? Like, yo, like stay out of the block, yo, like, don't be in the block. I mean, be in the block, but go get an education, stay out of trouble, you know what I'm saying? Like, stay away from drugs, you know what I mean? That's what I got from that too, and I thought that was a pretty dope track. The beat was perfect for the subject matter. I thought it was dope, you know what I mean? Definitely one of Lord Finesse's best beats in my opinion. Track 8, The Graveyard, which is another posse cut. Just like 8 is Enough. The Graveyard, which features that's a Buck Wild beat too. That's another dope track too. I wish they had a video for that. That would have been dope. Big L himself, obviously. This dude named Microphone Nut. Pause. I know I had to do that. Jay-Z, a young Jay-Z. He sound dumb young in that shit. This is like around, before, obviously before Reasonable Doubt. Yeah, Jay-Z, Big L, Microphone Nut, Party Artie, rest in peace to Party Artie. And Granddaddy IU, another dope MC, was I feel like another dope MC / producer. The reason why I say that is because he was an MC first, and then he started dabbling into the beats like throughout the 90s. You know what I mean? Like when he came out with his second album, Lead Pipe, which I do have in my collection, which I do have to do a review on. But anyways, getting back to that, another dope posse cut right there. They all do their thing. Yeah, man, Jay-Z, he definitely had one of the illest verses on the whole track, you know what I mean? Very, very dope. I fucking love that joint. Track 9, Lifestylez, The Poor and Dangerous. That's a Lord Finesse beat. To me, it's another, in my opinion, I feel like it's another version of All Black. It's kind of similar to that track, you know what I'm saying? But just saying like, yo, just stay out of my, just stay out of my way, you know what I mean? Like, yo, you want to get dealt with, just stay out of my way. You know what I mean? Don't look at me wrong. That's what I got from the track. You know what I mean? Another braggadocious track, but just on his hardcore steez. You know what I mean? Track 10, I Don't Understand It. Oh my bad. I'm sorry. I don't understand it. It's such a relatable track, and it's such a relevant track today. It's pretty much, and that song is produced by Showbiz. It's pretty much talking about all these niggas that get in the game, these whack ass niggas that get on the game. They get $1 million contracts. They get all this money, all this endorsements and all that. And people love them, and people are like, oh, they're the best because they see them on TV, they're on the radio, or they have the most hits. That's what makes them the best. Because I always have that argument on Facebook, and outside of Facebook in general, which pisses me off because it kind of shows people's ignorance towards music, you know, because people always think that, you know, oh, you have the most hits, oh, you're the best. Like, fuck that. Hits ain't shit. Hits is one thing, but can you put out an album? Can you put out a quality album? If you can't put out a quality album, then, you know, like, then what's the point? You know, it's like, you know, yeah, you can put an album full of hits, but I don't know. It's just like, it doesn't really resonate, you know what I mean? Because usually when a song becomes a hit is pretty much due to, like, as long as it gets played in the club and stuff like that. So that's the shit I don't get, and that's what he talks about. I don't understand it. Where he talks about these dudes that just get all this fame for nothing, but they're whack and they're you know, this is all that shit. And that song is definitely relatable, and it's funny too because that's the only track on the album that doesn't have curse words, which is funny to me. But it's pretty dope, you know what I'm saying? Track 11, Fed Up with the Bullshit. It's pretty much sort about these fucking bitch ass cops that, not all cops, I want to say, but I would say like maybe like 90% of the cops out there that like to abuse their authority, just because they could do that because they have that gun and badge, you know what I'm saying? They wouldn't just fuck around with people because they feel like a threat to them or whatever the fuck that means. And you know, it's just saying like, yo, cops is fucking with you for no reason and stuff like that. Yeah, I could definitely relate to that, you know. I could definitely relate to that shit right there. And that's what he talks about, Fed Up with the Bullshit. And the last track, Let Him Have It, L, it's pretty much a braggadocio track. You know, he's just, you know, it's just another braggadocio track, and he's just, he's just like bragging on the best and shit like that. You ain't fucking with me, but it's definitely a dope way to end the album. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. My feelings of this album, I fucking love this album right here. This album right here to me is a classic. You know, I'm glad it's getting the recognition that it deserves. I know a lot of people like to consider it a classic. I do too. Would I call it underrated? I wouldn't call it underrated. Maybe in the mainstream of things. But Big L is pretty big now. As far as like, you know, it's funny. You know, Jay-Z. Who said it? Who was it that said that? I know Jay-Z said it. Biggie said it. Where like, you ain't famous until you're dead. You know what I mean? And that's so true. You know what I mean? And some other rapper, I think before them said that too. I actually can't remember the top of my head. I listen to a lot of music, so you gotta bear with me. But I remember reading reviews online and like back in the day, you know, people saying like, you know, the production on the album is whack and like they don't like the beats. I'm like, I feel like the beats were perfect for Big L, especially for this album. You know what I mean? I feel like it was perfect. You know what I mean? Very, very dark beats right here. And that's what I love about the album. There's a dope article on Hip Hop DX where Lord Finesse actually breaks down like all the, like throughout the break. There's like a breakdown of the songs. I'll post down in the description box. If I find it, I'll put it down in the description box. You know, he talks about the samples that he used and you know, the theme of the album and stuff like that. He really talks about that, and I really like it. It's a very dope article, man. I highly recommend it if you guys check it out. I'll post it down in the description box. Also, there were songs that were actually left off this album. Originally this album was supposed to be like 18 tracks, but they were left off maybe because, you know, Big L, you know, he like horror movies just like me. I love horror movies, and he wanted to make songs, you know, that had like a horror theme to it. But then he was under Columbia Records at the time, you know, home of, you know, the Fugees, Nas, Cypress Hill at the time. You know what I mean? And you know, Columbia Records, they didn't want to market a hardcore album, so that's why like a lot of those songs were like kind of left off the album. And in fact, Put It On is not actually his first single. It's his first commercial single, but his real official single, but it's like more an underground single, as you can hear. It Is Enough, the demo version. Actually, excuse me, is actually Devil's Son, and you know, they had to cut that out because for obvious reasons, because I'm the Devil's Son. You know, niggas ain't trying to hear that. You know what I mean? And also, he actually had to alter some of the lyrics on this album too. Prime example, I had the MP3 years ago. I downloaded it like back in like '03. Good luck finding that joint because I used to have it, but then that was like years ago. On the song Danger Zone, there was a line where Big L said what he said. He said, where the kid's like, "Oh, mommy, Big L is coming to get me," but in the original version, he said, "Mommy, Satan is coming to get me." They had to delete that, and he had to re-record it, and you know, put Big L is coming to get me. You know, stuff like that. Because like I said, Columbia Records, they didn't want to market a hardcore album. So you know, songs like you know, Devil's Son, Clinic, where he talks about, you know, getting burned for some bitch and going to the clinic, you know, just shit like that, real shit, you know what I mean? But you know, they had to cut that out, and I guess like some of the tracks, I guess, felt like they were a little bit too dated. You know, songs like Times Is Hard and The Boulevard, which I felt like would have fit on the album, but I guess they cut it out. Maybe because of sample clearances. School's Hard, I guess they cut that out because of sample clearances, because he uses the Jackson 5 ABC sample. You know, just a lot of things, man. But like I said, I'll post all that stuff in the description box. And like I said, man, give this album a chance. This is definitely a dope album. Classic in my opinion. 4 mics. It should be 5 mics in my opinion. But yeah, and that's it, people. And if I'm not mistaken, if you see in this picture, I think that's G-Dep right here. It could be G-Dep because he's from Harlem, so you know. But yeah, that's it, people. Hope you guys enjoyed that review. Stay tuned for more beat videos, reviews. I gotta do the rants. I apologize, but I want to get a better camera before I do rants. So bear with me because I got a lot of shit to talk about. And that's it, folks. I hope you guys enjoyed that review. Peace.